in 1945. The world finally exhaled. World War II had ended. The guns went silent. Cities began to rebuild. Families started to hope again. But deep inside the Philippine jungle, one man didn't believe it was over. His name was Hiroo Onoda, a Japanese intelligence officer, trained to never surrender. His final orders were simple, yet absolute. Hold your position. Do not give up, no matter what. And so, he obeyed. For 29 years, he obeyed. When Japan surrendered, airplanes dropped leaflets from the sky. They said the war was over. Onoda read them, then smirked. To him, it was a trick. Enemy propaganda. A trap to make him surrender. So he stayed. Hidden. Silent. Watching. For food, he stole rice from villages. For water, he drank from the rain. Every sound in the forest was a warning. Every shadow, an enemy. Time passed. The 1950s came. Then the 60s. Men walked on the moon. But deep in the jungle, Hiroo Onoda still polished his rifle. Still wore his uniform. Still waited for orders. From a war that ended decades ago. He attacked farmers, burned crops, and disappeared back into the darkness. Search teams called out his name. Japan sent his family's photos. They dropped letters from the sky. But Onoda said only one thing. A true soldier does not trust the enemy. Years turned into decades. He became a myth. A ghost soldier. The man who refused to believe the world had changed. Then, in 1974, a young explorer named Norio Suzuki entered the jungle. He said, "I'm going to find Lieutenant Onoda, a panda, and the abominable snowman. One of them must exist." 3 weeks later, he found him. A man still fighting. A war that was long gone. Suzuki told him, "The war is over." But Onoda shook his head. "I will not surrender," he said, "until my commanding officer gives me the order." Suzuki returned to Japan. Found Onoda's old commander, now an elderly man running a bookstore. He brought him back to the island. Dressed in his faded uniform, the officer looked into Onoda's eyes and said softly, "Lieutenant Onoda, the war is over. You are relieved of duty." 29 years after the world stopped fighting, Hiroo Onoda lowered his rifle. He wept. When he returned to Japan, people lined the streets. Some called him a hero. Others called him insane. But one truth remained. He was a man who had lived between time and belief. Final tone, deep, calm, powerful voice. For 29 years, he fought an invisible war. Not against an enemy, but against reality itself. 'Cause sometimes, the hardest battle is believing that the war is truly over.